a fourth and final look at my 12-inch vinyl records. Hoi hoi everybody, and welcome to the fourth and final part of my look at my 12-inch vinyl collection. Links to the first three are below if you've come straight to this one. Basically I'm just working my way through my collection, showing you what I've got. I'll carry straight on. This is a 12-inch picture disc of Blind Melon's Change. Love Blind Melon. Saw them supporting Guns N' Roses at Milton Keynes in '93 and really enjoyed them. Became a big fan straight away. Love their debut album particularly, although their second album's great as well. So this is a picture disc of Change, limited edition. It's number 6992. So that's the A side, which has got the album version of Change on it, and then the B side has Paper Scratcher Acoustic Live and Time Live. And this came with a giant fold out poster, which I think is probably, okay, so that's one side, and then the other side is a band shot. Yeah, as I say, big fan of Blind Melon. It's a shame Shannon Hoon succumbed to his heroin addiction and overdosed, because he was a brilliant songwriter. And I love his voice as well. Most famous, of course, for No Rain. Then we've got a picture disc. It's an interview picture disc, similar to the Prince thing I mentioned in part 3, I think it was. This is a semi-official, well, it's not an official release, but it's not a bootleg, it is legal, shall we say. So this is a picture disc interview with Queen. Memory serves, it might just be Freddie on here. I haven't listened to it for about 20 years, so I may be misremembering. But we have similar for Dire Straits, part of the same series. I think the Blind Melon was an HMV in Cardiff purchase, I think. These, I think they were probably HMV, or they might have been my local record shop. That's ringing a bell. Reflex Records in Gosport. Don't remember this interview at all. I think it's just Martin Knopfler on there, if I had to say. Next one I bought in Woolworths in Gosport at the time of release. This was Christmas number 1 in 1985, I think. So copyright on here anyway is 85. In my head it was a little bit later. Also the disc is copyright 83, that doesn't help. Definitely wasn't 83 because it's definitely post Band Aid, etc. Whenever it was Christmas number 1, it was re-released. It might have been a bit later, but it reached number 1 when it was used in an advert. But Jackie Wilson's Sweet Petite, great song. This has got Sweetest Girl in Town Extended Shock Horror Mix and the original enhanced mix on side 1, and a couple of other Jackie Wilson tracks. You Brought About a Change in Me and I'm the One to Do It on side 2. Don't remember at all. I remember the remixes. Always designer quality, double album As Seen on TV. This is from Michael Jackson Mix, 40 specially sequenced hits by the world superstar. This is a 2-disc set, probably Woolies, would be my guess if I got this. It's a lot of his solo and Jackson 5 era stuff, it's sort of Motown era mainly, sort of mixed together so that each side flows as one track. It was the easiest way to get his early stuff around the time. This is sort of bad era this was released, 86, 7, 8, around then. Next, back to musicals. This is the original London cast recording of a Rocky Horror Show. So this was the original 1973 cast from the Royal Court Theatre upstairs. Is that right? Yeah, it is. So it's Jonathan Adams as a narrator, Tim Curry as Frankenfurter, Richard O'Brien as Riff Raff, Christopher Malcolm as Brad, Pat Quinn as Magenta, Little Nell as Columbia. They're sort of people who stayed on for the film. And then Raina Burton was Rocky, Belinda Sinclair as Janet. Did I say Christopher Malcolm as Brad? He didn't play Brad in the film, but he was in the film. He played Ralph Hapshot, I think. No, he didn't. Anyway, Christopher Malcolm. Paddy O'Hagan played Eddie in Dr. Scott. This is a good recording of the show. As I said, from 1973, this is a much later re-release of it. Love Rocky Horror. A 12-inch of Barcelona by Freddie Mercury and Montserrat Caballé from 1987. It's the original release. The A side has the 7-inch version and Exercises in Free Love. Again, the 7-inch version, which is pretty much Freddie singing over a piano backing, but singing, I think it's nonsense lyrics. It was re-recorded with proper foreign language lyrics for the Barcelona album when Montserrat sang it. Memory serves. Side 2 is the extended version of Barcelona. That was a Woolies purchase, definitely. As was, I'm pretty certain, the next album, which is Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. Probably worn this thin in my youth listening to this. You know Brothers in Arms. What I didn't know at the time was that they shortened most of the songs to fit them onto a single album. It wasn't until I got the CD version that I realised most of the songs were actually longer. So it threw me completely first time I heard the CD. I'll have to listen to that again to see how my mind reacts to the shorter versions again. Okay, this is a Prince-related 12-inch single. This is Mia Bocca by Jill Jones, who was in Prince's orbit from about 82 to about 92, off and on. She recorded an album with him. It was released in 87. Yeah, 87. This was the single from it. It is one of the best Associated Artists releases, Jill Jones's album, and Mia Bocca's a good song. So the extended version on the A side, and the B side has the dub version and the extended version of 77 Bleecker Street, which was also on the album. Just have a slurp. This is the Cinderella Theory, George Clinton's debut album on Paisley Park. George Clinton, founder of Parliament and Funkadelic. Prince signed him to Paisley Park in the late 80s, and in 1989 this was released. This is a promo copy, don't know how. Oh, the Jill Jones 12-inch I think was a record shop in Cardiff, possibly. This was definitely, he says, this was eBay, I think. I went for a little period of snatching up the vinyl of Associated Artists. Prince hasn't done much on this, it's mainly George's work. Couple of tracks you think, oh, maybe that is Prince playing, but I think officially he's not on anything. It's an okay album, it's not great. This is the Family's one and only album. Family was sort of when the Time split up, some members of Time went on to form a family, fronted by Paul Peterson, who was the last keyboard player for the time. That's Susanna Melvoin, twin sister of Wendy Melvoin, of Wendy and Lisa of the Revolutions fame. She was engaged to Prince. This is a really good album. It's most famous because it's got the original version of Nothing Compares to You on it. Prince is all over this. He basically performs nearly all of it with Eric Leeds, the saxophonist, and then it's got strings by Claire Fisher, who sprinkled his magic over lots of Prince's songs. Sorry, I realised how far out I was leaning then. And then Paul Peterson and Susanna basically just sung over the top of them. But yeah, Mutiny is an awesome track as well. Screams of Passion was the single. But yeah, High Fashion's great. It's very funky. Okay, this is an early 12-inch by The Divine Comedy called Time Watch. This was from, when was this from? 1991. So still a few years before he hit the big time. Time Watch was later re-recorded and it was on a short album about love. This also contains Jerusalem and The Rise and Fall. The Rise and Fall is a re-recording of a track from the debut album by Divine Comedy, Fanfare for the Comic Muse, which Neil Hannon subsequently disowned, basically. Jerusalem, it's not, you know, and did at his feet in ancient time. It is a Neil original. I've got a feeling that might have been on Fanfare as well. I'm having a blank. But that was bought directly from Setanta. Family, I think that was also eBay. Album I had probably bought this in the late 80s from probably Woolies or HMV or something like that. It's Queen's Hot Space. Not the best Queen album, but it's, you know, it's Queen, all their stuff is good. Under Pressure's on here. Las Palabras de Amor. The rest, it's when they had their little funk period that alienated a lot of fans. But it's, yeah, it's still, it's a Queen album, it's good. Similarly, I'm sure this was either Woolies or HMV or something like that, unless they were gifts. They might have been gifts. Flash Gordon soundtrack by Queen. Obviously the theme song is what everybody knows from this. I'm sure I had Kind of Magic on vinyl, but I haven't been able to find it. I don't know if I gave it away, whether it's got mixed up with my mum's collection or something like that. I've just no idea what's happened to it, but I'm sure I had a Kind of Magic on vinyl. This is a compilation, the Prince's Trust collection, and this I got, I think this is Woolies. It's basically just a compilation of tracks by artists who played the Prince's Trust charity concerts. They're not live recordings or anything like that, they're proper versions if you like. But it's got Dire Straits and Spandau Ballet and Kate Bush and Bill Wyman and Madness, Jimmy Page, Status Quo, Duran Duran, Eric Clapton, Imagination, Phil Collins, Joan Armatrading, Paul Young, Sade, Midge Ure, Genesis, Steve Winwood, Robert Plant, Jethro Tull and Procol Harum. So it's that sort of album. I don't remember why I bought it, probably because Dire Straits were on it, because at the time they were my favourite band, but I was also very much into Eric Clapton and Phil Collins and people like that. Okay, that's actually taken longer than I thought it would. No, we'll power through. This last part can be long. It's technically a 7-inch, but as you can see, it wouldn't fit in the 7 inches. This is PJ Harvey, Send His Love to Me single. PJ Harvey I adore, she's just a genius. So there's the disc. This has got Send His Love to Me on the A side, and then the evening session version of Long Time Coming on the B side. And this comes with a huge great poster that was on my university wall for a couple of years. It's far too big for me to fold out, but that's basically the image. That's a poly that's on it. Yeah, it's difficult to show. It's double-sided. The other side is the same as that. Polly has on her website a sale of what they're calling rare merch, and we're selling this for £100. I think on Discogs it's something like 30, 40 it's going for, but still not bad for £1.99, something like that I paid for it in Cardiff. HMV I think. Might have been Spillers. No, I think it's HMV. Done an unboxing of this. This is Snow Patrol's Wilderness album. This came on blue vinyl. And a signed print. Don't think on one of the earlier volumes of this I showed you the signed print on the Gaz Coons vinyl, but it's all on the unboxing anyway. Next is probably my favourite record in my collection in terms of aesthetic value. It's a recent re-release of Ice Cream Castle by The Time. It was their third album before they split until reforming briefly in the 90s. This was Purple Rain era of The Time, so it's got Jungle Love and The Bird on it, which are the songs featured in The Time. But so the album's called Ice Cream Castles, so it has been released on Neapolitan vinyl. How cool is that? Love that. So yeah, that's probably the favourite bit of vinyl to look at in the collection. Then back to Snow Patrol. Again, this is all part of the unboxing, but I've got a test pressing of the album, just on black vinyl, but signed and dedicated to me. Previous year, for Record Store Day, another of The Time's albums was released on coloured vinyl. This is their second album, What Time Is It? And this is on green vinyl. It's sort of a marbly type green. Then we've got another album I've shown on a previous video. I think it was one of the autograph collection ones rather than a proper unboxing. It's Midge's orchestrated album, signed by Midge, and it's on coloured, clear vinyl rather, very clear vinyl. Nearly there. Should have made part 3 a bit longer, I think. Always editing. Okay, another print 12-inch. This is I Wish You Heaven, again from 1988's Love Sexy album. Where did I get it? Midge I bought from his website. The 2 Time albums were Ice Cream Castles was Amazon. What Time Is It was eBay. This, I think it was a record store somewhere, but can't remember. I've had it about 15-16 years probably. The A side is I Wish You Heaven parts 1, 2 and 3. It's a very long extended version of the track that goes in very different places. B-side is Scarlet Pussy, which is credited to Camille, which is one of Prince's alter egos. It's basically his voice sped up a bit. Another Prince-related album, it's Apollonia 6, who are the other band in Purple Rain. This is their one and only album. So Sex Shooter is the best known song from that, because that's the one that's featured in the film. The sleeves are quite nice on this. That's the inner sleeve, so that's the band. Then the back of the album is Brenda, and the inner sleeve is Susan and Apollonia, and then a lovely photo for free on the lip sheet. It's not a great album, but it's got some good stuff on it. I mean, Sex Shooter obviously is a good song. Happy Birthday Mr. Christian's quite good. And yeah, they're probably the two best tracks on it, but largely written and performed by Prince, with just the girls singing on. Back to Blind Melon. I've only got two more. This is another picture disc. This is for No Rain. This is a subsequent release after the single came out. So it's got No Rain live, Soak for Sin, a board mix, but that's basically a live version without the crowd noise, as is Paper Scratcher and Deserted on side 2, all tracks from their debut album. So this is a picture disc. And then this also comes with a giant poster. Ooh. There's that. One side. And that's the other. And I'll sort that in a second because we're on to the last album, so let's get that done. Another Prince related, this is Vanity 6. So Vanity 6 was sort of a precursor to Apollonia 6. It would have been Vanity 6 in the film, but Vanity went off and signed to Motown after she split up from Prince because they were in a relationship. Nasty Girl's the most famous song from this. It's a bit better than the Apollonia 6 album, not a great deal, but it's a bit better. I think Prince's heart was a bit more in this one. He was a bit busy when he did the Apollonia 6, what with his album and the Times and the film, etc. This hasn't got any inserts, I'm sure it must have originally. No Rain would have been an HMV Cardiff release. This was the market in Cardiff University Hall when I was at university. That's it. That is my 12-inch record collection over 4 videos. I hope you'd enjoyed seeing it, and from now on any further vinyl I get I will do updates for. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you want to see more, and bye.